These are my few cents just before the inauguration of the 46th President of the United States. I think the United States citizens have lost their faith in the credibility of the elections, and I can prove it. Out of the 332 million Americans, only, I would say, less than a half have voted. And they have literally, you may say that these are record numbers that showed up at the polls or that used the mail-in ballots, but the reality is this, that it's still a lot of Americans who decided not to vote. And that means a big thing. That means that most of the Americans still do not have any faith in the credibility of the US elections. And so they do not have faith in either of the parties, either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. So for them, it's not a big deal if the inauguration is happening. Coming to the safety and security of the event, I think it is very important for the law enforcement agencies of US to realize that the QAnons are not the terrorists, because a terrorist will not pick up the guns and show up at the corner square of the town and protest. This is not how terrorists act. They usually act very insidiously. And whoever has decided to commit terrorism at the Capitol Hills on the inauguration day has already done his homework, has already most likely planted a bomb during all the mayhem and the chaos that happened during the Capitol riots on the 6th of January under the disguise of the whole so-called insurrection that was most likely not committed by the Republicans or by the QAnons or the Trump supporters, but it was done by third parties who want to create another occasion like 9/11 in US that will justify the launch of another war all over the world, because fear is a very important contributing factor towards inciting wars. And they did it after 9/11, and they want to commit another 9/11. They want to blow up the Capitol Hills building so that they can convince the American public with the new administration that let's have another war against the rest of the world so that the military-industrial complex can come back in business and more profit can be built. So this is what I think the law enforcement agencies have to consider. Number one, a lot of sympathizers of Trump and QAnons are present within the US military. We have all known that. There is credible data to prove it. But I don't think it is the QAnons who are going to do the terrorism, if it's ever going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this remains a very peaceful event. I was campaigning to have a virtual inauguration for the safety of everybody. But if, God forbid, some misadventures are planned and terrorism is being planned, unfortunately, they have most likely planted bombs already in the building on the 6th of Jan under the disguise of the Capitol riots. The Capitol riots was just a distraction. The so-called insurrection was just a distraction. They're planning something very big. And I think it is important for not just the American citizens and the law enforcement agencies in US, but it's important for not just the global leaders, but for every person who wants to have peace in this world, to ensure that this whole inauguration is committed in the most peaceful manner they can be. Because we don't want another 9/11 that is abused as an excuse to launch a war against the rest of the world. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.